Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Leilu Nishmat Simiros Bas Mordechai. Look who's with us today. Reb Nachman, welcome back. Mazel Tov Barabim. Yishkoyach, first time grandfather. Shmuel, after Shmuel Bramman from Chicago, who I knew very well, spent at least 10 Pesachs, Psochim, little Seders with him in Chicago. So, the kids should grow up and give nachas to all of Klal Yisrael, to the Rebbeinu Shalom. We have with us also Ben, what?
The dentist from the 5 towns.
The dentist from the 5 towns. Yamin Schwartz and his son. Sons. Beis Hashem. You coming for Shabbos? Eventually. Okay, gewaldig. Rabbi say a gewaldige text message I got. L'chvoid moiri v'Rabbi Shlita. And this is written by somebody that his natural language is Hebrew, born here in Eretz Yisrael, but speaks a good English, comes to the Shirra every single day. 2 years ago, I tried and got addicted, so addicted that I think you can count the number of dapim I missed using fingers on one hand. My family and I have so much to thank you on this day, and I chose to focus on one of them. We ended Masechet Kiddushin with Tanya Menei Chanini Kol Unas Sheba'olam Ve'eni Melamed Es B'ni Elo Torah. If I'm going to teach something to my son, I'll teach him Torah and not other, how do you say them? Not jobs, professions, crafts. Torah is there for a person when he's younger and left over when he's older. Earlier today, sat with my 8-year-old son in Avis Abanim. This week he learned in Cheder about Nedarim and Nedavas. And I found myself explaining to him the difference between them using the example of Harei Zu carbon. I'll show the Olam. I found it here. This was a way to remember the difference between a Nedava and a Neder. Nedava means this. I'm donating only this carbon. If something happens to it, I don't have to pay for another one. Neder is the general. I'm going to bring a sheep. If this one goes 5, I have to bring another one. So Daiv is in a zoo. A beer is in a zoo. Nedava, Harei Zu, Nedava. Okay, going back to this thing. There's a whole generation of Jews, men, women, and we say YouTube to them, they don't necessarily think of a video, they think of a daf. The generation of children who play Good Morning Rabbi Isai. Without this Daf Yomi shir, at least some of them would hear from the father on the phone in the living room about Messi and Ronaldo. So thank you, Rebbe. Thank you for all the time and effort you put into the daf. Thank you for the smile you do with it. Thank you for making it so easy for us. But mostly thanks for coming back to us. We needed you. That's not a nice. He says, forget the nice. Okay. Shkoyach Benny. Thank you for everything. I have to share with the Olam. On Friday, I was contemplating once again, because people ask me, give a shir, why don't you do the 8-minute daf? You do Mishnah Berurah shir. A guy flew in from New York to ask me to do Mishnah Berurah shir. Chavetz Chaim shir. We should add Chavetz Chaim every day to the thing. Another shir, another English shir, because I used to give another shir, which you liked and you were big. But one thing that keeps on coming up over and over is that maybe I should give a shir in Hebrew. Now, Hebrew is not my first language, but I'm pretty decent at it. And I was speaking to Benny about it. And the first thing that he told me, this is Benny, Rabbi Isai. He says, if you do it, I'm going to give you hours of every single day. Hours every day. I want you to do it. That's what he said. All right. Let's think about all the pros and the cons. I know the pros. The cons, I don't know. We have to think about it. All right. Hey, Rebelli. Thanks for your amazing shurim. I don't know if somebody told you this already, but the word is the Rosh Tevis. Good morning, Rabbi. Say is the Rosh Tevis of Gemara. So I'm just reading it because every month we get a few of these. And if you're new to this year, yes, that's not why we said it. But obviously, HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world and it just happened like that. Good morning, Rabbi. Say, I'd love to take the credit, but no. Dear Belly, I want to take a moment to confess my sincere appreciation for your incredible shir. Again, this is somebody from Kiryas Yoel, M. Fisher, Talmud since Ksubas, Daf Beis. I want to take the moment to express my sincere appreciation of the incredible Shirra. I've been a Talmud since Ksubas. And over the past few years, I've had the privilege of listening to your insightful Shirra. I'm grateful for the learning inspiration of Shirra. According to Spotify, your Shirra was my top podcast of 2023. Here, I'll show you a picture. And I spent a total of 6,244 minutes engaging in Shiurim last year. I'm proud to be one of your top 3 fans. Your learning, clarity, and passion for the Shirra have made a significant impact on my understanding and engagement with the Daf Yomi. Thank you, and MDY for the team for the dedication. Your dedication to spreading Torah and making it accessible to listeners like me. The Shirra has become an integral part of my routine, and I look forward to each new Shirra every day. I wish you continued success in your yahzeit HaKodesh, and may your Shirra continue to inspire and uplift many others. Warm regards, M. Fisher, Kiryas Yoel, Talmud since Ksubas Daf Beis, Givaldig. The Masechta is sponsored for the unity of Am Yisrael. Parnas HaChodesh, Hatzlocha L'zechus Yosef Mayer, Ben Rochel and Yidden worldwide. Parnas HaChodesh, leilo Nishmat, Chaneh bat Elimelech. Parnas HaChodesh, leilo Nishmat, Mendel ben Pinchas. Parnas HaChodesh, leilo Nishmat, Zechariah ben Moshe, leilo Nishmat, Zechariah bas Yosef. Parnas HaYom, Peter Merker, in memory of Morris Denker, Moshe ben Pesach on his 64th yahzeit. Parnas HaYom, brain intact, unleash your full potential, should be zochet Nachas Kedusha, and tremendous success in all my endeavors. Parnas HaYom, Larry Jaffe, professor at Clown College University.
No idea. Does they pay for it?
There is a place like that, I know. Clown
like
College University. There is a place like that, I know, like in Florida, I think.
Every college.
My voice is back. Better than ever. Wow. This is great start. Parnas HaYom, Benny Rudnick, in honor of Hilel and Sabrina Kamyonski, who convinced me to join the Daf, and in honor of my wife, who pushes me to do the Daf. Wait a minute. I thought I got you to join the... No, who's the main pusher? What happened? How did he get into the picture?
Maybe you should sponsor every day for Ellie.
What? Is this a joke? Really? My memory is like this. You don't even explain to me now. I saw Benny in Shachris every single day. That's where the koila was. And what is it called over there? Am Yisrael. So every day I would tell him, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. He says, I don't have time, this, that. And finally, I met his wife, him and his wife, and I said, get him to do the daf. She said, okay. And the next day he was here. And all of a sudden became Hilel. Okay, something like that, no? Kimat. Okay. But you weren't there every day, were you? If you are, you're chayla nefesh. Okay, anyways, I was by Shachris every day. The art of the month, fine, it's him. It's him. He takes all this thing. The art of the month, there's Manchayas of all the schusim that come from supporting the Torah. I want to tell you one Maisa before we start the shir. Actually, 2 Maisas. Listen to this Meshuna de Kemaisa. A guy came over to me after the shir yesterday. He said, you said that you should have Kavana during Vayichulu. He said, I had Kavana during Vayichulu. This guy is sitting in this area. I'm not going to say where. He asked me not to say his name. Right over there. And he said, I had Kavana in Vayichulu. And on Motzei Shabbos, he won tens of thousands of shekel. He had Kavana for Parnasa. So I was reminded with another story that I ate by Noam Fix. He said yes. He offered that. I didn't ask. He said yes. I'm going to give him mice. We'll see. Then we'll find out how much he really won. So the mice was only 10 shekel. Then we know the mice was above a mice. So listen, I was at Noam Fix's Suda Friday night, and he starts, and we had a big schos. The Kala, Shruli's Kala was there for the very first time, and he gets up there, and he starts, right before Vayichul, he starts making these weird faces. And his wife says, no, what's wrong? He says, Eli said that we should be mechaven during Vayichulu, and he warned me not to make those faces. So I'm like, Kitzer, he was joking around. Some people are litzonim, and some people will win tens of thousands of shekel. Anyway, Rabbi, we have a Givaldik daf today. Mamish like a gadita. No, I have to ask you, give it automatic. Here's the question. Which organization today takes pure goyim and elevates them to the level of a Kohen Gadol. So we'll get into it soon. Today's Gemara. Shorsha Yisrael shenogach shorsha Knani potter. So we learned, like a controversial halacha almost, that a bull of a Jew who gores the bull of a Knani, Eino Yehudi, potter. Top of Lamed Ches Amud Aleph. That's the Gemara Mimonavshach. Now, I want to point out, as I mentioned yesterday, the Am Yisrael says that if a non-Jew asks you what's pshat in this halacha, and you try to beat around the bush, and you lie to him, and you say it's not really the halacha, this, that, you're chayiv misa. In other words, he says you should give up if he threatens your life, you have to tell him the halacha the way it is, even though he doesn't like it, and even though it's uncomfortable. You have to give up your life. That's what he paskins. Okay, so Amri Mimonavshach. The question is, how could it be? We learned we saw the pasuk yesterday. Shirra, it has to be the bull of your friend. So when a Kanani causes damage to the Jew, he should be potter. The non-Jew should be potter. Why? Because he's not reyeyu. And if you're not going to go by the letter of the Torah of Yirei Lavdavka. So even if the Jew causes damage to the Knani, he should be chayiv. Omer Bava, Omar Kro, Omad Vayimoid Deret. HaKadosh Baruch Hu stood and he judged the world. Ra, he saw, Vayater Goyim. He gave a heter to the Goyim. Ra Sheva Mitzvah Shekilu Alei B'nei Kivan Shaloi Kimu, since the Eino Yehudi wasn't Mikayim the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nei Noyach, Kivan Shaloi Kimu, Omad V'hitir Mamonim L'Yisrael. Eina Chanami. At the end of the day, you should be chayiv. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu was matir their mama, and he said, you could have it. So we have to understand, and this is Pashat Pshat. It doesn't mean that you're permitted to go and take any Yehudi money. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is matir the mama. Not only that, lahalacha tos akum is also. You're not allowed to even be mata a guy. You're not allowed to even cause him confusion and then say, a trick. No trickery. The only thing is mutter is aveda, whatever. Nezik and aveda. When gezel akum is also, tos akum also. Yes. To be mata is awesome. Yeah. Right. If they are mata themselves, that's not tos akum. To be mata. Yeah. So it's not pshudik mashmoi v'hitr mamoinam that all their mammon became mutter to klal. In hezek, it's matter. I saw the Rambam today. The Rambam says the reason is also because if it's going on. We want them to since they're not shomer Torah mitzvahs, they'll be mizalzel and hezek. So they'll be mazik other people. So we wanted them to pay for that. Okay, use a tam. Because Baruch Hu came from Har Param from Har Sinai. So Tosis, Rashi says also, Rashi brings it that HaKadosh Baruch Hu went to all, we know, HaKadosh Baruch Hu went to all the nations, said, do you want the Torah? They all said for different reasons, because of the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nei Noyach, this one wanted the Shviras Damim, this one wanted the Gezel, etc. Okay, so he didn't get the Torah. They didn't get the Torah. Because of the fact that they rejected the Torah, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu he made their mama in hefker. So we have two pshatim, or two sources. The Yisrael who caused damage to the Knani potter. But on the reverse, there's no tam, there's no chatzi nezek. Right away, straight off the bat, he's chayiv nezek shalom shenemar omad vayimoidid eretz ra vayatri goyim. That's our first pasuk. Ve'oimer in another pshat hoifia mar paron. That's the second source that we brought. So the Gemara, every time the Gemara says ve'oimer, the Gemara always asks, my ve'oimer, why do you need a second source? Perhaps you need one of the two psukim for Rav Masna and Rav Yosef, which the Gemara is going to say in a second. Tashma, if you're my param, if you're my Moedim Yisrael. Maid Rav Masna will understand it in a second. Rav Masna, what's Rav Masna? Do Rav Masna, is raw. He learns the pasuk differently. Since he learns the pasuk differently, I need another source. My raw. What does Hakadosh Baruch Hu say? Raw Shev Mitzvah Shenestav Aleim Bnei Noach Lekimum. Hakadosh Baruch Hu was upset that Bnei Noach didn't keep the Shev Mitzvahs. Here, I wrote it down here. What are the Shev Mitzvahs Bnei Noach? Mishpat. It's one or two. I had to make my own lashon. Mishpat means that they have to have a court system. Giduf is to insult HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Avodah Zara, Gilarayis, Ritzicha, the Shloisha Chamuros, Gezel, and Ever Menachai. These are the 7. So since he saw that not be Mekayim, Omad v'higlo isam malad masam. So the pasuk Vayatir. Yeah. Yeah, I showed it once. I couldn't find it. Where is it? What is it? Yeah. Birkas Hashem. So I should have written it differently. Huh? Aleph Beis Gimel Daled and the Shlosh Chamuros. Evmen Achai. Birkas Hashem Gido. No. Gazel. Yeah, Birkas Hashem is Gidov. Yeah, I got it. And Dinim. Givaldik. I once showed it in Shir. I just don't know where it is. I looked for it. I couldn't find it. Okay. The Shlosh Chamuros. Maybe we'll find. Maybe we'll throw it in. It's good to put it in. All right. So Hakadosh Baruch Hu wasn't matter the Mammon. Hakadosh Baruch Hu kicked them out of their country. Umay mashma the high vayater. Listen to the Agluya. How do you see from this? What does vayater have to do with making them go into Galus? Ksivacha vayater goyim uksiv hasam. It says in this pasuk vayater goyim. Ksiv hasam by the sheretz oif linater bem ala oretz. We have the pasuk ach ezet toichlu mikol sheretz oif. Haylach al arba shaloich raim imal rag linater bem ala oretz. It's talking about sheretz oif. The shrotzim that fly, and they have feet that they jump. They jump. So Memelo, Metargim, the Targum is the kapotza in alar to jump over land. Memelo, Hakadosh Baruch Hu made these goyim jump to another country. So I don't have a source to say that their money or their hezek is mutter to us. So for that I need another pasuk. That's why there's 2 psukim. That's the Va'omer. Madi Rav Yosef, similar to Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef, Omad v'yimodi deretz raw. My raw, what did Hakadosh Baruch Hu see? Raw Shev Mitzvah shekiblo alei b'nei noach v'lekimum. Omad v'tiron lohem. Says Rav Yosef, Hakadosh Baruch Hu made the Sheva Mitzvahs b'nei noach mutter to them. Ask the Gemara, Itgurei Itgar. When I learned 4 years ago in, what was the name of the Beis Medrash we used to learn? What? Shmuel. When I got to know Mendel, every day he used to ask this. This was his favorite shaila. Choyta niskar. Every time. Kein choyta niskar. So you're gonna let them gain it. Guri itkar im kemotzinu choyta niskar because they sinned and they were over on the Shev Mitzvahs b'nei noach. Now became mutter to them. Now Gezel is mutter to them. So they sort of gained. Omar the Ravno loymar. Huh? By me it says Ravno, I don't know. Ravino, okay? Huh? So maybe it's Ois V'Hodor. Let's look over here. I know, but no, in the shot, in the pirush, not in the thing. Okay. Omar Breder Ravino. Loymar shafilu mekayim noison ein mekam aleim sochar. So it says like this in Rashi. It says in Rashi that they're not mitzvah in the Shev Mitzvahs. And nevertheless, even if they're mekayim it, they don't get any schar. But it's still also on them. It's interesting. Even though they're not mitzvah on Shev Mitzvahs, it's a given. There's certain things, the Torah says, okay, you're not allowed to do this isser, but the certain averis that without the Torah, it's just the way the world is done. You're not allowed to steal, you're not kill. Just because they're not mitzvah, it doesn't mean that it's not us. But there's no tziva. Because Baruch Hu took the tziva away. And memela, even if they're mekayim, they don't get sechar.
It's not choyta niskar anyways.
What do you mean?
Take away from them the chance to do a mitzvah, right? And now they have no connection.
What's the mitzvah? These are various.
Now that's it. You have nothing anymore. I gave you something to do. Yeah. Now I'm taking away from you. You have nothing. You have no connection to Hakadosh Baruch Hu at all.
You're like a snake.
You're garnished. You're nothing. It's mamash a punishment. It's not a schar.
Yeah, but they live in this world. There's a way to look at it. They live in this world. You can do any aver in the world.
If you don't understand, then it's like that. If you understand, then what's the reason you're here? So that's God. That's it.
Oh, fine. V'loi, v'tanya me'oimer minayin shafilu nochri v'oisik bat Torah. You hear this? Minayin. This is unbelievable. You got to chazir this a few times. Minayin shafilu nochri v'oisik bat Torah. Even a guy who learns Torah, shuhu k'koyin gadol. A guy learning Torah is on the level of a kohen gadol. A kohen gadol who goes on Yom Kippur lefnai v'lefnim to Kodesh HaKadoshim, the highest level. Even a non-Jew who learns Torah is on that level. Talmud Loimar gets the schar of Torah. Talmud Loimar sheyasa oisam ha'adam v'chai bohem. Ha'adam doesn't say Jew, not Jew. Ha'adam, any human being. V'chai bohem. It gives you life. V'chai loylam haba. Kohanim v'levim Yisrael loynemar. Ela adam. Halamata, you learn from him. Shafilu nochri v'izbat Torah hareu kekoyin gadol. So to answer my riddle, I think MDY. There's a few Eino Yehudis that watch this year. Yeah, they wrote it a few times. So Zokha, we brought them up to the level of Kohen Gadol. They learn Torah. Now, 1 minute, I want to what? Who told you this? Where? No. It's also to teach them. It doesn't say that it's also to learn. Where does it say this?
It says Rashi says to Raschem. The Rashba that also.
Hold on. Tosfos over here says, we'll see in a second. You're not allowed to teach them. It doesn't say they're not allowed to learn. Happens to be here. Look, this is what I saw today. There's in Korea, South Korea. There's a whole mishigas that they came to Eretz Yisrael. Yeah. If they learn Shem Zunayach, then what? Yeah. I hear. They bring from the Rashba since it's also.
They don't hold like the Rashba. These guys will learn.
Okay, I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't. I'm just saying that in Korea it became like one of the best-selling books or svarim. They learn Talmud.
Art school sells a tremendous amount of shas to that part of the world. They
have more shas than in the Jewish world.
In Korea, yeah, it's huge.
No, so I was getting all excited. Hold on a second. I was getting all excited that maybe we could double our numbers, triple our numbers for the shir if they found out about the shir in Korea. But then I saw Tyson says that you're not allowed to teach them. You're not allowed to deliberately go and teach. They want to chop, fine, it's something else. Okay. So based on the Rashba, you're not allowed to teach them. They're not allowed to learn Torah. They have to learn about what? About. But what do you all anything that's to do within Shem? That's all of Shas. Kiddushin, Gittin. It's all.
You got to pull those Korean ads out. All those Korean ads you made, you can pull them right now.
What's the nomination in Korea? It's not $1. It's what? What's the coin called? A yen? No, that's Japan. We'll do $1 a day for them. $1 a day. If you're in Korea and you're watching this year, $1 a day. You got to pay up. All right. The Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Oh no, not even there. So here's the Shaila. It says that they get schar like a Kohen Gadol. So what are you telling me that Hakadosh Baruch took away the Shem Mitzvahs B'nei Noach and they don't get any schar? They do get schar. Says Gemara Amri Yemikamalei schar k'mitzvah Ela k'mi she'edim mitzvah. They get schar, but not on the same level. It's a lot more difficult to do a mitzvah when you're told to do a mitzvah, like the famous Reb Chaim Shmulevitz by Yoav ben Tzruya. David HaMelech told Shlomo HaMelech that Vasisel k'chachmasecha. That no, you don't remember this? Famous, right? The Yoav ben Tzruya Kurbu Kilani Klalim Nimretzes. David HaMelech told Shlomo HaMelech, what? Shimon ben Ger. What was it with Yoav ben Tzruya? Okay, whatever. With Yoav and Tzur, right? He cursed. I think he did it to Yoav. Shimon Ger, you're right. Shimon Ger. Bukilani Kolam Retzes, and he said, "Do with your chachma. Don't let him live his life out. Because David swore that he's not going to kill him, so he couldn't kill him. So you take care of him." So Shlomo HaMelech told him, "You're not allowed to leave Yerushalayim." And then the Navi says one day his sheep ran away, and he chased his sheep out of Yerushalayim, and he killed him. Morris Denker. So I asked Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, it's what do you mean? Just don't go out of Yerushalayim. What's the big deal not to leave Yerushalayim? No. Human nature is you tell somebody, don't do this, he does it. So Mela, when you're told, you have to learn, you have to this, it's harder. If you don't know what you're told, then all of a sudden you have a taiva to do all these mitzvahs and all, so you don't get the same schar. Don't give the Hebrew shir, you mean. The chumash, the this, the okay. No, they get a tremendous. It's the highest schar, but they would get a lot more if they were mitzvah. Maybe I don't know. You're saying. You're saying how is it possible that he gets more than a kohen gadol and it's a not mitzvah? The point is that they get whatever the schar is, huge schar, even though they're in a mitzvah. If they were mitzvah, they get even more. That's how I understand it. I hear. Yeah.
Someone who's mitzvah is higher than a kohen.
No, that's a kohen gadol amoritz. You're talking about amoritz.
He's not mitzvah to be a kohen gadol anyway. Kohen gadol wants to be a kohen. He's not mitzvah.
Yeah, but no, as a kohen gadol, you're mechuyev to go into the kodesh hakadosh and do the thing.
Mechuyev to be a kohen gadol.
Torah Abba. Yeah, of course, that's the Shema. Torah Abba. Kvasholcha machos roimi. Shnei sirdratio yisei Am Yisrael. Says the Gemara story. The Romans sent two officers to learn by the Chachamim. They want to learn the whole Torah. Lamdunu teraschem. Teach us Gemara. Karu v'shonu v'shilshalu. They learned it 3 times. That's Pasha Pshat, simple Pshat. They learned it 3 times. We sit and we struggle to learn Shas once. It takes 7.5 years. They came in. I don't know. They sent the geniuses in. They learned the entire Torah once, twice, 3 times. Great. They knew everything cold. And then when they were about to leave, they said, we couldn't find any flaws in your Torah. It's perfect. We have one issue. This Mishnah. This really disturbs us. How is it possible that the bull of Yisrael, okay, you want to go both ways, it's a halbatzara. But we have to pay you a full amount. And now the lamdanim. How are you going to grab the word reyeyu? You can't dance on both chasanas, make us pay, but you don't have to pay us. But don't worry about it. We're not going to tell anybody. We're not going to snitch on you. We're going to tell them the Torah is perfect. Besides this one thing, we're going to keep it secret between us. It says Taisvis all the way on the bottom. Karu v'shanu, the second to last Taisvis. It's a passing Tehillim. I don't know exactly how it's an essay. Okay, there's different gears here. They were forced to teach them, so for that you're not mechuyev to kill yourself. They pretended that they were geirim and they learned the Torah and then they ran away. Fine. Ooh, which reminds me of Merker Maisa. I don't think I said this Maisa in a very long time. I have to think how to say it because you're going to correct me. There was it was the Reshiva from Esha Torah, Reb Noach Weinberg, and a guy that learned by him. He put in a tremendous amount of koiches to him, and he told Reb Noach, "I'm going back." So he said, "Why are you going back?" A whole Maisa. So he said, "Hold on, I don't want to mess up the story." He said that because he's a guy, he's a priest, and he's only. You wrote it?
Yeah.
He said he's a priest, and
I wrote it. That's why I know.
okay, I'll say you'll correct me now that you know the story. So
Could have been you, volume 1. I'm still
Kitzer, he was a priest. So Rav Weinberg starts screaming at him. You're Rochel. How could you do this to me? You're a priest and you didn't tell me that you're a priest? You wasted my time, a whole year. I put koiches into you. So he said, but because of what you did to me, the guy felt bad.
What could I do?
What can I do to help you?
Very quickly. So what can I do? He said one thing. One thing you can do. The tshuva is that when you go back home and people come to you, if you see a Jew comes to you, you need to teach them the MS. You need them to carve them. That's going to be a tshuva. That's the story.
So no, but the story continues. Then an Israeli came to him, and he started teaching this Israeli chumash, everything he knew from Rudnick, and he made some bali tshuvas. No, I just remember because the Tosfos says over here that he pretended to be a ger. He pretended. He came to over here. He made himself like a ger. Then he said, "Oh, by the way, I'm not a ger. We're going back to Rome." Okay, it's a gewaldige story, but I ruined it. Sorry. Zok the Gemara. I got to tell you the story. I'm plotting already. There's 12 minutes left. I've been telling the story over. I told to Nachman, I told to everyone here, but I got to tell it to the Olam because the story really moved me. On Shabbos by the Shabbaton, a couple walked over to me, my wife, and the woman came over. She lived in America, but I think she was Israeli, and she said she had a dream. She had a dream that a rabbi told her she has to learn Beitzah. So she said, "What's Beitzah?" She gets up in the morning. She had no idea what it was. She never heard of it. So she was confused. She went to the rabbi. She said, "Somebody in my dream told me I have to learn Beitzah." So the rabbi told her, "This is what the woman told me, and if I'm missing something, please, whoever you are, write into the shir because I want to know all the details." Clark. So the rabbi said, "There's something called Chas, and one of the volumes is called Beitzah, and Klal Yisrael made a siyum on Beitzah today." She was shocked. She didn't know what to do with herself. She says, "So I need to study this." She went online and she found our shir, and she's been learning the daf since then. And she did tshuva. She became a Baal tshuva, and she told me, my wife, as mamish, I'm cracking up now thinking about it. She said that she plays it loud in her house because she wants her husband to become a Baal tshuva, and he's shaking his head like this. They came for Shabbos. You met them, Benny? Yeah, it's unbelievable. Huh? No, but we have to go back. What's the other story? Which one?
I love that story.
I think I said it already. I think so.
9 months later.
He became about tshuva. Okay. Yeah. No, I think I said it, but we'll say it again a different time. Zok the Gemara. Now this one moved me to the core. So we did that.
I'm sure about you.
When you weren't here, I was chazing over different things. I was skipping lines. You can't. It's not a day.
Yeah, maybe you should stay.
Oh, I got it. Okay, Be'ezer Hashem. Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda Shchiva Barta. Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda's daughter was nifter. Amrle Rabbanon Lula. So Rabbanon told Lula, "Kum nezel in Nachame. Let's go do nichem avelim." Amrle Am Yisrael Gabi nechemte de bavloy. I don't do nichem avel with you bavloy. The geduvo. You insult HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Amri, because they say, "My efshalem avel." Oh, what could we have done? It's not a good lashon to say, "Oh, what could we do?" He was nifter. What could we do? It seems like efshalem evad avdi, as if you have power. Like if you could have prevented something, you would have pushed a certain button. You would have done it. You can't. So Ula went by himself. He didn't have patience with the Bavloim that used the wrong language. Omar le. So he said to Shmuel, the father of the daughter that was nifter. Hashem tells Moshe, don't go to war with Moav. Says the Gemara, why would Moshe just go out to war without Hashem's command? Ella, because Moshe would have made a kavachomer. By the whole story with Bilam, the Midyanim, they helped Moav. They sent the women over there, and they were machshel Klal Yisrael. So on the helpers, not the real deal, the helpers, Midyanim, Amra, Torah, Tzores, Midyanim, Bikisim Oisam, you should destroy them. Moyavim Atzmam, the ones who went to war, the Moyavim, like Kolchkein. Omar lo yakodesh baruch hu, lo yikishol sa'adait chol sa'adaiti. No way. Shtei preidois toivois yeshli lo hoitzi mehen. No, I'm going to have young pigeons coming out of these two nations. If you destroy them, those pigeons won't exist in future generations. Who? Rus ha-moyaviyah v'namo ha-moynis. Nama was Shlomo HaMelech's wife who had Rechavam. And Rus, we all know, we have David, Shlomo. We wouldn't be Klaisha, we wouldn't have Tehillim. If Moshe Rabbeinu went to war with Moav and wiped them out, there wouldn't be Rus, there wouldn't be David HaMelech. Klaisha would look completely different. So, we could finish and we'll say the thing in a second. Rabbi say, I mean, chas v'shalom to compare this. But okay, every time I say bekitzer, there's a video out there that says, I forgot the exact lashon, something the yeshivish people say during Shiva. What yeshivish people say during Shiva? And it goes, it used to be my favorite video of all time. Basically, the guy, it just shows a guy being Menachem Aval, and he says all these things. Somebody that sat Shiva Leilo knows what I'm talking about. Some of the stuff is like, what bus was it? The 17. Oh, so you mean he was jaywalking? Oh, okay. You know, like crazy stuff that people say. Like, who's getting the Lexus? What not to say at a Shiva house? Okay. I saw, and he has this also in the thing. A Rav, I saw this with my own eyes in Chicago. Guy's sitting in Shiva, the Rav's talking. All of a sudden, brrr, brrr. Hello. Mazel tov. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just at the Shiva house. Mazel, Beis Hashem. Yeah, I'll be there soon. Yeah, okay, right. People, Meshuggah in the Shiva house. But Chas Hashem, I'm not... It just reminded me of this, and we have to explain what's going on over here. You think he's telling the father of this girl that was nifter, and he makes a kavachomer. No, the Achronim say don't say this in a Shiva house, because if you don't understand, then Shmuel is on a level to understand what he meant. HaKadosh Baruch Hu had Rachmanis on people that were Shaim and the Chayte and everything. Don't destroy them. Why? In the future generations, there's going to be somebody called Rus, Bitoy Sherebi, your daughter, in Ksherahi, if she was kosher, V'rui, Lotzis Mimeno Dover Toiv, Allah has come v'kama to have a chaya. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw in your daughter something good, then, but that's not what he meant. What he meant is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw the potential. HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that this girl, she did her tikkun. She fulfilled her tikkun. So don't be that person. Oh, I saw in Gemara in Lamed Chesam and Beis Mavakama, Mistama, your kid fulfilled his tikkun. And you don't do that. Shmuel understood what you're saying. You're saying that this person came to the world to do a certain thing, and if there's generations that HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that there's something special, a certain thing, then this kid wouldn't go, and this neshama was a special neshama, and whatever. Ad kan. The cheese. What heck is the cheese Danish? Yes, the guy. Okay, fine. Oh, sorry. We're turning the daf by Chanan Averbuch. Eli Nishmat ben Mayer ben Zev David, my holy nephew, son of Robert and Jen Early. And Eli Nishmat ben Mayer ben Zev David by Chanan and Shirra Averbuch. All right, Rabbi Isai, I need to tell the Olam, I'm going out of my gather here. We're doing 8 days. 12 people signed up for $1 a day. You don't have to give $1 a day. Give $5. But we're making a push to what? A shekel. It could be a shekel. Just give a shekel. Go on and give a shekel. Beis Hashem, tomorrow I'm going to announce the names of people. A certain person put in his name twice. What?
1-1.
A 1? That's 1. If you're in Korea, give a 1 with a Y. W. W-O-N. Oh, really? 1? Like, oh my gosh. Okay. A lot of people ask, why does MDY need money? We have over $1 million budget. And there's just a lot of salaries. What? The Shabbos, sorry, but we don't want to talk about the Shabbos. It was Kedai. The Shabbos is Givaldic. Whatever it cost, it was great. Right, Ben? It's amazing.
One is worth
300?
3 agorot.
I'll be like the guy in yesterday's daf. You could keep your zuz. Keep your half a zuz. No, I want it. I want to drink a coffee. Too late. You already gave the tzedakah. Koreans, keep your one. Fine. Fine. איפה אנחנו? וואי ואבוי. אומר רבי ברבא, אומר רבי יוחנן, אין הקדוש ברוך הוא מקפח, Rabbi, this is beautiful stuff. אין הקדוש ברוך הוא מקפח שכר כל בריאה. הקדוש ברוך הוא doesn't hold back the schar of anybody in this world. אפילו שכר שיחנה, even when a person speaks a little nicer to somebody else. Dilu Bechira, there's a famous story of the guy, we don't have time, but I'll just say Bekitz and Imrats. The guy's wife made a deal with her friend. They used to collect money. It's a famous story that whoever dies first is going to come to the other person in a dream. And one of the things she told her, she said, you don't understand. We were one day standing on the street and you waved to your friend in a certain way. That wave gave you a certain schar, tremendous. Everything has a chashivas in Olam HaEmes. So certainly, the Ilo Bechira, the older daughter of light, the Ka'amra Mayav, she called her son Mayav, from my father. You can't start up with them. You can't make a war. You can't do a war. But you could give them some taxes and take from them. Tzeira, the younger one, who spoke more properly, the Kamra, Ben Ami, he's the son of my nation. You can't. You can't even take from them anything. Zero. Now I must say, since we're here, the famous Ramosha Feinstein, I couldn't find. Last time I said the story, I brought the actual Ramosha. It's in the Sefer. I know for a fact. I saw it. He says, I'm going to say quickly because we're late. Dagdama to Chelek Ches. I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of people, so fine. I just couldn't find it this morning. So basically, a Rav told Ramosha Feinstein that he was about to die. He had his tongue swelled up, and Ramosha said, he asked Ramosha to come in, and he said it was Parshas Vayera, a tough reish, pay base, something like that. And it was Parshas Vayera. And this Rav got up and put down the daughters of light. He said, look at them. They had children with their own father, and he went to sleep. Another dream. The first dream was the woman with Beitza. He dreamt that two women with these long clothing and everything says, we're the daughters of light. Do you think we did it l'shem shamayim and we called our sons these names l'shem shamayim so that there shouldn't be another religion that says that they got pregnant because they thought there was nobody in the world. So they don't want people to think that they were impregnated by the Shekhinah. Chas v'shalom. So they said it straight out. Ben Ami, Moyav. Now you understand why it's Moyav. And because you spoke Lashon Hara about us, you're going to get punished, and the guy died. Says the Gemara, this is also a very important lesson in life. We have a chance to do a mitzvah, you jump on it. You give that $1 a day. You don't wait until the next day. Because the younger one had a kid from her father the following day, so it took 4 generations for the schus to come out. Now I love to ask this question. Leiby's not here, so I can ask the question. Who are the 4 people in Klal Yisrael that shouldn't have died? They never sinned ever, and the only reason they died is be'ityo shel nachash, because of the chet of Adam Rishon. Who are the 4 people? Yishai, and that's the one. That's what nobody knows. Here it is. Binyamin, Amram, the father of Moshe Rabbeinu, Yishai, the father of David, Vikilov, the son of David. So says the Gemara, Oived, Yishai, v'David u'Shloimoi, v'Letzira ad Rechavam. It took the younger one to come until the wife of Shlomo HaMelech, Siv, v'Shem Imoy, Nama Moines. In other words, you have Rus had Oived, Yishai, David, Shloimoi. That's 4 generations before Rechavam. Okay. Now we're talking about not a Knani, but a Kusi. Kusi is a whole machlekes in Shas. did they become Gerim because they really want to become Gerim? That's Geri Emes, or they become Geri Arayas. Here we have a couple pictures here, or maybe more than a couple. There's a Kusi, Adi Mazed, there's a whole bunch of them here in Eretz Yisrael and Har Grizim. They have their Torah, they do Korban Pesach, and there's a mandam that says that they're Geri Arayas, that they were just scared of the lions, but they weren't real. In other words, if they're not real, then it actually comes with a little bit of thing. Here's their, that's my computer. That's a Avodah fly. If they're not real, then that means that they were always in a Yehudi, they were always non-Jewish. But if they're real and they just now do Avodah Zarah, that's different. A Jew that does Avodah Zarah is still a Jew. Says Gemara. So if you cause damage to the Kusi Potter, now this is different than a guy. Why? Because by a guy you pay Nezek Shalom. Ta mishalim chatzin nezek, umur mishalim nezek shalom. If the kusi destroys your property, then he doesn't have to pay the full amount. He only pays chatzin nezek. Remei oimer shosha Yisrael shenagach shosha kusi potter, v'shekusi shenagach shosha Yisrael bein tam beimur mishalim nezek shalom. The exact same halacha as Einu Yudi. As the Gemara, why? Lemeimer the sover meir kusim geri arayis. From the fact that Meir says you pay the same amount as Einu Yudi, so you're telling me that they were never gerim. They were just by the lions. Vermini.
Do they pay from the goof? Like the town pays from the goof?
And the one pays from the very good kasha. I'm going to answer you later. If I don't have an answer, so I'm going to pretend I'm going to answer you later. Vermini. Kolak some my boy merekim tahirim. So you have a kasha. When it comes to dam nida, if you find a garment that has a stain on it, if it comes from Rekem, says Rashi, most of the people there are goyim. Goy doesn't have tumas dam nida, so it's all tar. That they were gerim, but they went off the derech. So if you're Jewish, you went off the derech, you still have dam nida. But if it comes from the Nachri, from a city of Nachrim, you go into Chves Gaza, whatever it is, then it's tar. Oh, what about a kusi? What's the gears over here? Okay. You tell me that according to Meir, they're fakers. You see over here that they have dam nida, the emes. They're be'emes, gerei emes. Good gerim. But we don't want people to marry into them, so we gave them a knas. And we said that they owe us money when they damage us, and we don't owe them money as a knas. So people see that they're very different than us. There's an isser. Here, let me just show you this pasuk real quickly. The pasuk says, we're talking about oines. So there's a chamishim kesef you have to pay. And you have to marry the woman if she agrees to marry. You have to marry. You're never allowed to divorce her. Never allowed to divorce her. But there are 3 girls that if a person's ma'anas them, you have to pay the fine, but you can't marry them. Mamzeres, because she's mamzeres. Nesina and kusis. As the Gemara, maybe it's just a knas. Why don't you revoke the knas? You shouldn't have to pay the 50. Yeah, niskar. This is probably where we were learning, by the way. This is the Masechta we were learning back then. 7.5 years ago, that's what it was. That you can't award a Russia who's ma'anis a girl and you shouldn't pay knas. Says Gemara, but I have an idea of an eis vilanim. So he doesn't. You don't give it to the kusi, you give it to tzedakah. We should give it, but nobody could collect it because every ani that comes to him will say, no, it's a different ani. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. We're going to say Tehillim together, Kavana. Shirra malo ismi mamakiv grosicho adinoi adinoi shemo b'korlit yelo zarga shubois l'kod achanoi im avinois shmor yo adinoi miyamoy timcha slicha lemati borei kvisi adinoi kiso nafshi l'droi cholti nafshi l'adinoi shemrim aboiker Yachei Yisrael adinoi gim adinoi achesed v'abimoi vidus v'yivdei Yisrael mikol avon Yisrael achenu kol Yisrael anitzunu mitzor v'shivyo hoim nebem bayom nebem bayom b'shama kim rachma leim mitzor levacha v'yafei lo yom shivu l'gila hashto v'galo v'zman korib v'nima romein